Hi everyone, it's Carol Keller, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Antioch, Illinois in the United States, coming to you today with a card made using the Hey Birthday Chick and Hey Chick bundles that are available right now from Stampin' Up! From now until the 30th of June or while supplies last. I've had a lot of fun working with these sets and I'm happy to share it with you today. So without further ado, I'm going to turn my camera around so that we can get started. All right, first of all, let me show you the bundles. The first one is Hey Chick, an adorable stamp set that was a celebration offering a few years back, and it was so popular they have brought it back for a limited time. And it comes with a set of dies. So they cut out all 4 of the chicks and chickens in the set, and there are a lot of other elements to help you build up a scene. I cut them out, so I'm going to show you everything that's there. So again, cuts out all 4 of the characters that you see in the stamp set, but then a corn stalk and some corn and husks, a tree stump, a chicken coop, some eggs, a sign, and this little guy also, if you turn him on his side, looks just like a goldfish cracker, so I cut that out just to show you another way to use that die. And a little chicken wire and some seeds. So we are going to use those along with the Hey Birthday Chick stamp set, which also has a set of companion dies. Of the 4 things, the 2 stamp sets and the 2 sets of dies, this is the only thing that you will find in the January to June Stampin' Up! Mini catalog. And here are the dies that go with it. So again, it will cut out all 4 of the characters with the dies that are enclosed, and plus there's a fence and a little chick. And again, I cut them out so that I can show you. These are the elements of the dies. That's everything that it will cut out. So a little flour sack and a fence and some little chicken footprints and a bow tie, happy birthday. And there are sentiments, of course, with both sets, and they do coordinate with each other. So those are the components. All right, let me show you first the card that we're going to make today. Like I said, I really wanted to use a lot of the elements from the dies, and so there isn't too much stamping, although there is a little bit, especially on the inside also. So I'm going to put that aside so you can see it. And we will start off by doing some stamping. And for this, I'm going to use Memento Black. And because the stamp is large, I'm going to bring ink to the stamp instead of the other way around. And then we're going to stamp the little guy. And I'm going to put him out here because we're cutting both of them out, so that won't make any difference. And next, the rest of the stamping, like I said, is on the inside of the card and the envelope. So I have a crumb cake card base that is a size A2 card, but of course it works for A4 as well. And I'm going to bring in Granny Apple Green for the sentiment. Let's celebrate you. There's another adorable one that says you're still a spring chicken. So that's another one that you can use. And then I'm going to bring in Rococo Rose, and we're going to make some confetti. And I overlapped it a little bit with the words because since they're different colors, it's still easy to read. And so now our stamping is done. And I like to color before I die cut, so I'm going to do that next. And I'm using my Stampin' Blends for this. So I'm going to start off, well, I'll start off with the little chick. And I used a light Daffodil Delight for this one. And I really didn't do much shading, if any. I just colored since a lot of the spaces are so small. And I'm going to do a lot of the coloring off camera, but just so you know, for this chicken, I use dark Daffodil Delight, pumpkin pie for the feet and the beak on both of them, and just a little bit of dark Pool Party as a little accent for the hat, because we're also going to use Rococo Rose for that, as well as for the balloon, so that they will coordinate. So, and I used dark Rococo Rose. This is really the only place I did shading. I used dark Rococo Rose by the highlighted part. And then my light. Just basically coloring it in, but then going over the same section that has the dark to help blend the colors a little bit. But you're basically just coloring in, and then once more. And like I said, I will color the rest off camera, and then I will be back in a moment. Okay, now I have colored both of the little chicks and die cut them. And I have also die cut the rest of the elements for the project. And for many of them, the chicken wire, and I actually did just one of the fences, I have adhesive sheets on the back. And on the cornstalk, definitely it's required there on the happy birthday, and I changed up the color just a little bit. And you'll notice too, I used smoky slate for the chicken wire, and I decided, hey, let's use some silver foil. So I did that for this one. And we've got some corn, again with adhesive sheets on the back, and the same thing with the husks. There's an adhesive sheet on the back of that. It will make it so much easier. And then originally I was going to put 3 of the streamers, but then I decided to use only 1, but I had cut them out already. So I'm going to leave the 3 colors here and decide at the end which one I think will go the best. But now it's just a matter of assembling. I think the easiest thing to do first is the cornstalk. We'll start from one side and work our way to the other. And the best way to get off the adhesive is to grab your take your pick tool and use the paper piercer end and just put it almost parallel just to pick up the edge of the paper, and then it will come right off. And we can place it on the card. I'm going to move these to the side. And I think I'm going to make it down just a little bit so it's behind the fence. And I'm placing this first because the other thing that needs to go down before the fence is our little chicken with the balloon. And I'm just going to bring in my Seal Plus and use that on the back. As you can see, I recycled some paper for the chicken. Nobody will be the wiser. And I'm just going to make it so that balloon is right at the top because I don't want the chicken too far down. So that's how I'm going to place it. And then I'm going to place my fence. And I think I'll take the adhesive one. Oh, they're going to overlap anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to take, we'll do the adhesive one first. And I'm just placing it all the way to the bottom, or pretty close, and to the edge of the card. Whoops. Moving up a little bit. And for this one, because I don't have any adhesive on the back, I'm going to grab my silicone craft mat and my multi-purpose liquid glue, and I just put some glue on the tall part of the fence posts and a little dab at the end because I really don't want it to show. I don't want it to leak out. And you're just going to place it right next to that other fence piece so it looks like it's all one and nobody will be the wiser. And the stump's going to go at the end. Again, I'm just using my Seal Plus for that. And placing it right next to it. With the little flower sack on top, I decided to do Daffodil Delight to bring a little more color, even though the Very Vanilla is probably close to the color it actually is, but I really wanted to introduce a little more color, and I thought that was a good way to do it. And then we've got our little dancing chick. Right here. Whoops, got a little bit of glue showing. Let's get that out of the way. And I think will add just a little more color. He looks kind of pale. And again, this is just the light Daffodil Delight, so I'm just going over it again to make it a little darker. I wanted some contrast with the big chicken, that's why I did the big one with the dark Daffodil Delight and the light one on this. And it does tend to bleed through, but it should be fine. It won't show through to the other side. And then we have our chicken wire. And again, I can poke out some of the in-between with my Take Your Pick tool, the little in-between parts. And then use the same tool to start it at one end. And you'll see it pulls out most of the silver circles in the middle, but I'm going to check because I know there are a few more, and just poke those out. And you do want to try and make sure that they're not just on the underside of the piece like these are, because we don't want them to create bumps and we don't want them to affect the adhesion of it on your card. So we're going to get those out of the way. And then we're going to place this here. Oh yes, I like that so much better. A little bit of sparkle. And then for the happy birthday, the same thing. There are little pieces in between, but sometimes just pulling the paper off will take them along with the paper. Took a few of them, but not all. So again, we're just going to poke those out. And then we're going to place our happy birthday, and this time I'm going to put it down toward the bottom. I centered it before, but putting on the streamer was an afterthought, so this was the best place it fit, but I really feel like it should go at the top. So, and then we'll do our corn. All right, and I've already prepared 2 of the corn cobs, and I placed them on the spots on the vine that had the biggest spaces. I felt like that was kind of a good place to put them. And I did do an extra one, so I'm going to get that out of the way. Since there were 4, I did 4 so that I could have one ready already to use on another project. So again, just taking off the adhesive sheet on the back. And then there's sort of a more rounded end and a pointier end, so I put the pointier end toward the top and just layered them. And then put it on the vine. And so last is just to decide which color streamer looks best. Could use yellow. Thinking purple I want a little more contrast. Or we could use the Rococo rose. I think the rose. Yeah, I think we'll use the rose to bring out to match the balloon. And I just placed it from end to end. Fits perfectly. And there is our card. I love it. I like it better than the first one because I really like the silver foil paper for the chicken wire. And the paper I do want to show you is cardstock. So it's very thick and it's just silver on the one side, but it works out really, really well for that. I like it a lot. I like it better. It looks more realistic than the one that's made out of just cardstock, smoky slate cardstock. So I really like it. And I hope you like my card. For the envelope, I simply stamped the chick and colored it in with my blends, and it didn't really show through. If you're worried, you can use your markers instead. But that's what I did for the outside of the envelope. And then the other card that I did was this one. Move that to the side, and I have a video also on my YouTube channel that has the directions for this one. It's a fun fold, and so if you want to see how to do that one, both of them are on the same playlist on my YouTube channel, just on the Hey Chick playlist. So if you're on that playlist, you will see both of them. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you liked the card. I was really happy with the way it came out. And like I said, the stamp sets and dies are available from now until June 30th or while supplies last. So you might want to order them sooner rather than later. Again, knowing how popular the Hey Chick set was a few years back. And if you need a demonstrator, I would be happy to be yours. Just contact me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel. And if you click on the bell, it will notify you when I post new videos. So I hope I will see you again soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.